Hello, Clive here, and welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. We left off in the Worms Rock Fortress, where we did take out Gortesh. So now we have all three of the stones, and we kind of left off with Karlack leaving the party because she needed to go cool off. And so she's back at camp. So we really only have to deal with the Elder Brain now, which we will do in this episode. But first, we do have a couple of loose ends we need to tie up. So if we look at our journal, there's not very many things left. We're not going to do this. This is just, we just get a picture from Oscar. Dribbles the Clown. So we did miss one of the pieces of Dribbles the Clown. This is pretty easy to get. We only have one piece left, and that's the head. So we can go grab that here very soon. Probably not going to do the Mysticarian Servants. It's not too hard. But we really don't get anything from that, and I really don't want to help this guy. He's not a very good guy. We do have to talk to Omelluum. He's going to give us a reward for helping him out. And then we have a couple of other things. And this is like a general quest. This one we will definitely get into in this episode. We have to talk about that. And then everything else is just companion stuff that we probably won't have time. The only one we really didn't get into was the quest for Gale. In his quest, he wants the Crown of Karsus. And that is a decision you have to make at the end. If you want to give it to him or not. He does become kind of on par with Mystra. But we'll get into that a little more once we get to the end. And I can just talk a little bit about what that means. I'm giving him the crown. Even though he's not in our party, he is the only one we didn't really deal with. And so everyone's quest is really done. We didn't really do too much with Lae'zel's quest line. But her quest line takes us to the point where we have to free Orpheus. So it's either free Orpheus and Lae'zel would be happy, or kill Orpheus and Lae'zel will be angry at us and leave us. So that is one decision we have to make when we get to that point. So the first thing we're going to do in this episode is just go and talk to Omelluum. It's probably the simplest thing we can do right now. So he is pretty close to the Baldur's Gate waypoint. Okay, so yeah, the Elder Brain is pretty close to the Baldur's Gate Bridge here, like right below us, which we'll go to that pretty soon. But that little cutscene did trigger some of the Mind Flayers to spawn here. It isn't that big of a deal. Like, these guys actually could take care of it if we wanted to. We can stay out of it, but we might as well just kill them. So I think what we'll do is just probably just speed this up, just to get through this fight, and then we'll head over to Omelluum. So yeah, it's just a couple of Mind Flayers. We'll encounter a lot of those pretty soon. Let's go talk to Omelluum. We do have to also talk to Karlack, and she is back at the camp. So we're not going to do too much of fighting without her, so we definitely aren't going to go and encounter the Elder Brain just yet. We also could take a long rest as well, just to get that out the way and get our spells back before we do our final encounter. Let's go talk to Omelluum. He's up here in this house. This is where Blurg is too.
It is pleasurable to see you. Your intervention within the cult's underwater complex was a timely one. I am glad my carelessness did not cost the life of Duke Ravengard. That you also saved me was unexpected.
I would never have left you behind. I rather like you.
I too feel some warmth at your presence. Your inclination to generosity is an admirable quality, one I wish to reciprocate. Blurg and I have consulted on the matter of your reward. We first thought to ask the denizens of the Underdark for their aid in fighting the cult. Alas, our influence there remains negligible. Instead, we have selected a series of items from the Society's vaults. Given my kind's involvement in creating this evil, it is only right that I do my part in helping you defeat it, or at least improving your odds.
Alright, so we do get like a bag with some stuff in it, just like spells and stuff, and potions. Not really that important, but we did complete that quest. So what we can do now is let's go down into the Temple of Ball waypoint. Okay, so we are going to go and get Dribbles' head. I think it's the last piece we need. And it's like right up here, it's not too far away from the spawn point. So we spawned here, or we teleported here, and then it's right up here. This is like a group of people here. And let's just break apart from here, because there's a lot of traps here. We missed one. Let's just get somebody else up here, just to get all of them.
Looks like a trap.
Yeah, there we go. Alright, so we have several traps here. We have to be very careful. We can probably just disarm all these traps. Or at least ones to the guy we didn't get to. Yeah, it's very easy to do this. And we have to go to this guy, which is Wilting Alex. So let's just disarm this one. Oh, never mind. Okay, or we can just break it. That works too. Okay, so let's just loot his body. So he has, or her body. And they have a head. And then Milesian the 6th. Alright, so that's it.
That's the last piece of clown. Better see the ringmaster.
Yep, so like Shadowheart said, that's the last one. So we have to go back to, let's see, I think it's the Rivington waypoint. Here's the Rivington waypoint, and we have to go up to the circus, which is right here. So just straight up the road, not too far away. And we're gonna be back talking to the ringmaster. I kind of wish there was like a speed up button when you run, but yeah, maybe in the future they'll have something like that. We might have to go back and get the pieces. Maybe not.
Hello again, my vicious little warrior. Any luck finding Dribbles?
This is every part of Dribbles I could find.
Oh, perfection. This is just what I need. His flesh has a few rat bites and his teeth are missing, but these are minor issues. I shall remake Dribbles better than before, where once he was famous, he will now become legend. And you? Here, darling, a little something from your friend, Lucretius. My circus and I can now finally leave.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Lucretius.
And I you delectable vintage. Oh, and if you do take on the Absolute, do try not to end up like poor Dribbles. You are so very pretty after all.
Alright, so we did get these gloves, which is those are actually pretty good. You trade off attack damage or attack rolls for spells, and then in return you get a 1d8 damage boost. So pretty nice for a caster. I think it's actually the best thing you can get for a paladin. Alright, so let's head to the camp. We'll go talk with Karlack. Alright, back at the camp. We're in the Rivington camp. So Karlack's right here. Let's go talk with her.
Hey, soldier. You're back.
Still soldier after everything we've been through, huh?
Old habits. Did I miss anything while I was off having a sulk?
We can talk about that later. I'm more concerned about you.
Would you believe it if I said I'm alright? You know, soldier, we're so fucked. The Dark Three are trying to consume the Sword Coast. We've still got tadpoles in our eyes, and I've got a ticking time bomb in my chest. I'm not sure anyone has ever been more fucked than this. And yet, we're fine. In this moment, we're fine. Here I am. There you are. Breathing, talking, even laughing if we want. Is it very precious to say that despite it all, I'm happy?
If you're happy, I'm happy.
In that case, there's something I wanted to ask you. Will you stay with me when it's time for me to go? I think I can do anything if you're there. Even die.
Of course I'll be there, Karlack. Whatever you want.
Thank you. Now, enough tragedy. I'm not gone yet, and our schedule is packed with important heroics, isn't it? Plus, if I cry anymore, I'm gonna run out of tears and start leaking motor oil. Thanks for everything, soldier. I'm extremely glad to be in this thing together.
Okay, she didn't join our party, so we have to go back and just pick her up.
Soldier?
Come on, we're heading out.
Aces.
Okay. Yeah, so she's in our party now. Let's go ahead and just do a long rest while we're here. Then we'll head out to the sewer and tackle the last part. Alright, we have our long rest. Nothing happened. So what we need to do now is we need to go to the probably Temple of Baal where we were just at. I think that's the closest place we have to go to. Alright, so we're back at the Temple of Baal. So if you spawn at the Temple of Baal here, just climb the stairs and get to this point right here. And if you look at the map, you can see that this is the place we need to go to fight the Elder Brain. In order to get there, we should need to walk around this area here. There's going to be a door over here. Right there. There are some enemies down here, but they shouldn't be that difficult, especially with some AoE. And then yeah, through this door is this pool area here. We get an autosave as well. And up around here, it's going to be all these little rats.
Clinging rats. They swarm when an elder brain is near. We must be close to its hiding place.
Yeah, so we have to cut in here. We're going to get attacked by these things.
Beware. A solitary rat may be trivial, but a swarm is dangerous.
Be very careful. This is the boat we need to go onto. If they're going to attack us as soon as we get to this boat. Maybe not. Okay, so let's go on the skiff. This is where we have to go. If you look at the map here, this is the place that's pointing to. And we did get the Morphic Pool dock waypoint. Let's hop on this. Alright, so once you enter this place, there's no turning back. You no longer have access to your camp or any items stored, so you definitely want to get a long rest before that. And new players will not be able to join your party. So this kind of locks us in on the final part of the game. We're going to do that.
Pristine darkness in every direction. silence, but for the gentle, rhythmic slap of water on rock as your vessel cuts through. An overwhelming force pushes into your mind. The brain. It is here.
Pawn. Thrall. Puppet. Anomaly. Erase. Remove. Extinguish.
Can you smell it? The brine. It's infused with magic. The brain is here.
Alright, the brain is here. Alright, let's go ahead and, before we do anything else, I do want to get everybody buffed up. So let's just, everybody have a drink of potions. And we're going to do this first, so don't forget. Alright, we are fully buffed. We have just about everything we can get. So let's go ahead and head up to this rock here. And let's cross over. We honestly don't need any gold or any of that stuff. It really isn't anything that we can get from gold at this point. We also have a bunch of gold on us, so I would recommend getting anything before you come here.
Preparing. Calculating. Evolving.
Yeah, so it's the Elder Brain's little pulses. We're gonna encounter some enemies here. Let's see, keep going.
It's getting stronger. We must be close.
Yeah, let's go over here. There will be a little fight, so we'll have to deal with that.
Dominated. Controlled. Crowned.
Alright, let's go through here. An ambush up here. Let's see where he's pointing to. Up here maybe? There we go.
Chase. Devour.
Alright, yeah, there's quite a few of these guys here. They're still very low level. Or not low level, they're very low hit points. And they're still low level too. So this is just an AoE fight, really. You don't have to do too much else outside of that. So you probably just hit him with a bunch of AoE and then try to take him down. Alright, so yeah, we did take these guys down. There's probably a bunch of these brains on them. And you do get psychic resistance, which is actually a pretty nice potion to have. But we already have a bunch of those, and we can't really make them. Actually, we could make them, but it's not worth it right now. Alright, so we have to go up this way. Jump across here. Probably should do a short rest.
Thrall. Freed. Bring. Control.
Yeah, we're gonna keep encountering those. Let's see, let's get Will and Karlack over there. And then let's go ahead and let's group back up. Okay, yeah, let's just do a quick short. Actually, I don't think I spurned any spells, did I? Not anything that I can recover. No, I think we're fine for now. We'll do a short rest a little bit later. They didn't make this too difficult. We go this way, I believe. Keep going north. No. This way. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it should be over here.
Must be close.
I think we're stuck with using our main character for this. There we go.
Deathly silence. The air is stale and putrid.
It's close. Have the stones ready.
Your blood slows. Your senses strung so tight they could snap in an instant.
You think you know why you are here? You think that by killing the Chosen and taking the Netherstones, you can destroy me? You are wrong.
It's messing with your mind. Don't listen to it. Use the stones.
Okay, so we have to pass a few checks, not just this one, but we have to pass several of them. And if we look, we could probably just pick any one of these. We're actually terrible at all of these. Constitution's our best one. We can use Bardic Inspirations, and it is a 20. It's still a rough roll. We could burn these. It's not a big deal.
By eliminating Ketheric, Orin, and Gortash, you have simply unbound me. Exactly as I intended. The crown is now mine to command. Mine alone.
Don't listen to it. Focus on the crown.
Alright, so this next one we have options. We do have a lot of dexterity, so it's probably our best bet is to go with dexterity.
The crown is not my weakness. It is what made me what I am. I needed the crown to build an army. I needed the Chosen to bring it to me. They would not have surrendered it freely, so I gave them what they wanted. Power. Just enough that they would play their part in my design. Their part has ended. The next orders will be mine.
I won't allow it. Again, dominate it.
Alright, so once again we have like really terrible rolls. So we can try Constitution again and see if we can pass this one. They do get progressively harder, and I highly doubt I'll pass this. I have to get like a perfect 20 to get this one. You know, we'll just continue and save the last inspiration for later.
And you had your role to play too. Who do you think told the Chosen about the Astral Prism? Who do you think planted the knowledge of Orpheus's power and the fear of what it could do? When the Chosen sent my thralls to retrieve the prism, who do you think let the Emperor slip its leash, knowing it would be the one to bring you to me?
We were part of its plan.
I only needed one Netherstone loosened from the Chosen's grasp to guarantee my freedom. You brought all three back to me. In doing so, you have liberated me. This was your role, and it is complete. Now you will witness the grand design.
Shit! No! It's all been leading to this! We stop the brain! Now!
Alright, so it really doesn't matter. You pick any one of these. The roll is kind of impossible to get. So yeah, I think we'll just stick with the dexterity one. And then, yeah, it really doesn't matter. 99 is the difficulty. So unless we get a critical success, we cannot win this. And yeah, we failed that, which is not a big deal. So we'll just do this.
This is not over. out just in time. The situation is worse than I thought. This is an Elder Brain, no longer. The magic of the crown has caused it to evolve. It has become something more. A nether brain.
I thought the nether stones were supposed to allow us to dominate the brain.
I thought so too. But that was when I believed it was still an Elder Brain. It has been anticipating our every move from the start. I underestimated it. We will need to rethink our plan.
Alright, so we're in the astral plane, and this is where we have to go and talk to the Emperor about Orpheus. So, big decision time. We did see all that chaos going on outside. So that's another indicator of something terrible happening. Well, let's go ahead and talk with the Emperor.
Sometimes freedom requires.
Got a little autosave there. If you don't have Lae'zel in your party, then this next part is not critical, I would say. It's still pretty important because she's still a friend. But if she's not even in your party, she's not a part of your camp, then I wouldn't even worry about this next part.
His power will see us through.
So we have to now talk with the Emperor again.
I have assessed our encounter with the Netherbrain from every angle. I know why we failed. The problem was not the stones. The problem was you. You can make only one move at a time, but the Netherbrain calculates every possible move at once. It knows what you will do. It knows everything you could possibly do. You cannot outmaneuver it. To defeat it, you would have to think like an Anithid. Better yet, be one. Your mind is not capable of this. Mine is. You will give the stones to me. I will assimilate Orpheus, and then I will be able to leave this prison to face the brain.
This fella and his ultimatums. But he's forgetting one thing. We could become Illithid. I mean, I could. You could trust me to do what needs to be done.
Alright, so the biggest decision we have to make is, do we free Orpheus or do we not free Orpheus? The next decision we have to make is, if we do free Orpheus, we have to find an Illithid to take over powers. So there's a lot of things going on here. It really does boil down to whether you have Lae'zel in your party or whether Lae'zel is still even in your camp or not. If she is, then I would say stick with Orpheus. If not, you can just go with the Emperor. Or you can even become an Illithid yourself. And then the other option is going to be to give Karlack the powers of an Illithid. It does free her from her death, so she doesn't burn up. So what I'm going to do in this one is I'm probably just going to go ahead and free Orpheus.
You still don't trust me. After all we've been through. Remember, I have been your salvation from the very beginning. Your knight in shining armor. I freed you from the Nautiloid, prevented you from crashing to your death. I have protected you ever since, at no small cost to myself. I came to you as a leader, but I did not shy away from showing you vulnerability. I needed you as much as you needed me. I was not above recognizing this. When you discovered my true identity, I did not flinch from the truth. I never lied to you, not once. I am just like you. We have the same enemy, the same story. I encouraged you to fulfill your potential, all while protecting you from harm. Now I ask you for the last time to trust me. Release the nether stones to me.
let's go ahead and free Orpheus.
I told you we have to trust one another. I told you the Githyanki would only want to kill you for what you are. Still, you choose to break our alliance. Even united, the Netherbrain was going to be an impossible enemy. But apart, we have no chance of survival. Very well. Since you will not work with me, you work against me. You leave me no option but to join the Netherbrain.
His eyes are unseeing, his voice silenced. But even with his mind caged, you can feel his power.
Very good looking.
So we need to equip the hammer now, which we do have. I don't think you can get rid of the hammer. I'm gonna break this one, and then we can talk to him.
As the Githyanki prince takes his blade, a silent cry pierces your head. It's unlike any sensation you've ever felt.
You reek of illithid. You stole an unborn hatchling from my people. And you slaughtered my honor guard. Nonetheless, it seems we must be allies. You may address me as your majesty.
Yeah, so he recognized that we took the egg, which we never did anything with. I don't think he wants it back. What we need to do now is we just talk with him, and we just want to just tell him that we're on his side. That's pretty much it. You may address me with a little more courtesy. I freed you.
Do not patronize me. You rejected the illithid when it no longer suited your needs. No doubt you freed me because it suits you now. I will neither forgive nor forget your abuse of my powers.
The Emperor held all the cards until now. I freed you at the first opportunity.
That is false. You had the opportunity to surrender yourself to my honor guard. They would have given you a noble end. Any worthy individual destined to become Geik would have done so. My guard would have freed me, and I would have stopped the Elder Brain before it evolved into a Nether Brain. All that suffering, avoidable, were it not for the choices you made.
While we bicker, the Netherbrain is executing the grand design. We need to stop it.
In this, we are aligned. I am obliged to overlook your transgressions. We will destroy the Netherbrain together, and put a stop to this nascent empire before it expands into the stars. The Geik was correct about one thing. The Netherbrain's power is beyond us. The hardest metal in the world would not cut through its mind, for it is made of thought itself. At this point, it will take an illithid to unleash the full potential of the Netherstones.
I understand. If that's what it takes, I'll do it.
Wait. Maybe you don't have to. It should be me.
This is my sacrifice to make, not yours.
But it isn't a sacrifice. Not to me. I'm dying. This thing in my chest is burning me through. If this is the end for me, let me be the motherfucker who saved the world.
So they did rework some of Karlack's lines. They kind of hint towards this being her best outcome, and you get more of that later whenever she actually fully becomes a Mind Flayer. So I think we'll go with this path. It does kind of work out in the end. for the better of everyone. This is what you really want. All I can say is thank you.
Anytime, soldier.
You, Tiefling. You would volunteer your life for the greater good. You would make the ultimate sacrifice. I thank you. The Netherbrain wants nothing more than to see all infected become Gaik. My defenses keep the voice of the Absolute out. But just as I can raise them, so I can lower them. I will allow the voice of the Absolute in. Once it reaches you, it will order you to transform. It will only take a moment. And once you are a Mind Flayer, I will fold you under my protection once more. You will be the savior of empires. Not least, my own.
With the withdrawal of Orpheus's power, Karlack's mind is rushed with the full force of the Netherbrain. The very fabric of her being is torn apart and reformed in an agonizing process that is over all too soon. Then, stillness. She stands transformed, once again closed off from the Netherbrain's mind.
My people will remember you, Tiefling. The rebel Illithid who stood beside their reborn prince and ended the Grand Design. Let us return now to the city and follow the path of the Netherbrain.
Alright, let's talk with Karlack. We also need to, like, pop some buffs too while we're doing this, just because if we don't do it now, we're gonna totally forget. I'm gonna do this real quick. Alright, so we got the buffs on us, and we did give Karlack her weapon back. We don't want to forget that either. So we were fully buffed up for the next battle. Let's talk with Karlack.
This is wild. I'm myself, but more.
More? How do you mean?
It's like I'm beyond myself. I can sense things I never knew were there. And my engine, it's silent. No heat. No gears. Still there, but no longer threatening to explode. Soldier?
Karlack, that means you're gonna live.
Yes. Yes. My God. Is it possible? Shit. I'm gonna be alright. I get to be alive. I get to stay. As a hideous monster, sure. But one that can feel, think, live. But I'm still myself, and I know what our mission is. I'm glad I get to do the honors.
Oh, Karlack! No news could have made me happier in this house of horrors.
I'm so happy for you, Karlack. This is incredible.
It is. It is incredible. And I intend to celebrate after we've defeated the Brain.
Let's finish this thing, soldier. It's time. And I'm ready if you are.
Alright, so let's go ahead and head through the portal. He's gonna join us in our party. Alright, let's leave the astral plane.
got. Need to find a way through.
We could attempt to sneak past, or just fight our way through.
Alright, the city is not looking too good right now, is it? This next part is going to take a pretty long time, so what we'll probably do is just call it this episode for right now. We went ahead and we did quite a bit. We confronted the Elder Brain in the Morphic Pools. We finished the gathering our allies part, and we then chose to save Orpheus, and in return Emperor left and went with the Elder Brain, so we kind of took off. But now we have Orpheus. We also have Karlack, who is a Mind Flayer, and she prefers this ending. There was another ending for her, but I think we'll do this one. This is probably her best ending in the end. What makes her the most happy. That is going to be it. The next episode will definitely take on the rest of the game. There's not really much left. A little bit of dialogue, and then a long fight to the top where we encounter the Elder Brain for the final time. So I thank you for watching. I appreciate all the support, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.